Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Timeout Tuesday on the 9th of December. Got a little friend with me this morning who's very needy. This is Honey. You probably haven't seen her for a few weeks, but she is very, very needy this morning. She's just chasing me around. So, yeah, but she's decided now that she's off. Good morning again. Yeah, I'm sort of here. I think I'm here. It's been an exciting weekend, so yeah, I'm glad I'm out this end of it. So today we're going to be looking at the Advent calendar for Stampin' Up 2025, which I love. I love the presentation too. Always wanted an Advent calendar, isn't it nice to have one? Today we're going to look at day 7 and day 8. So here we go. Day 7. I'll pull them out first. Day 7 and day 8. Oh, yeah. Just put one out over it. So let's move that out of the way and see what we've got out here. So day 7, I've got this piece of paper here because you can see that my table's a little bit of a messy thing this morning. We've got some more dies. Now, these are very similar, not the same, but let me get day 1 dies out. They complement day 1, which is really lovely. These are the day 1 dies. And there was one that was similar to that. This center one with the rainbow. Not quite the same. These are more like the postage ones, I think. So let's have a look. I think there are 5 in here. So there's one large one, a medium one, and a small one. And this one's got like a stitching around it. And then we've got this one and this one. So that's our 5 dies that we've got. So we're going to today be using these dies. Now, I have prepared in advance, and this is going to be rather quick this morning because I'm going to my granddaughter's year 6 graduation today. For those of you who live in the Northern Hemisphere, year 6 is the same as P7 up there because we start school with kindergarten, whereas you start with P1 or first year. Yeah. So this is the first card I made with this. This is using the DSP from one of the earlier windows. And what I've done is I've stacked it. You can see if you look carefully that I have stacked it. And what I've used is one of the stamps from this, the Big Thanks one, which I hadn't used before, and I embossed it. So I used the DSP, and I use, this is also the DSP as well, pink one. And I've cut out the 3, 1, 2, 3. And then I put these, just to tell you what I did, I put them on foam strips. And then on the next one, I put a little bit of cardstock in behind it and then put the foam strips atop. Otherwise, I'd have to stack 2 foam strips, and this one I'd have to stack 3. So each one, if you were look very carefully, you probably can't see, but there is white card or pink card in between each of them. And then I just used some gems from the embellishments on day 3, I think it was, one of the days on the bottom. Makes a rather unusual card, that one. Decided I wasn't going to do that one today, but I'm going to do another one. And let me check which one I'm doing first. This one. Yeah. So, using the shapes again. Okay. This is another one of the DSPs. I've been preparing for this. So I've got 3 Daffodil Delight daisies or flowers. I think they're like clematis. And I'll show you what I did with those in a minute. Okay, So I've got my white base. My white base. I went to write a Christmas card yesterday, I should tell you. You know how you write a Christmas card? And I went to open it up and it was upside down. I put the front on, back to front. So yeah. Let's prepare the top first. Okay. So I've got these three that I've cut out. I'll just show you what I'm thinking of doing. Putting them like this on the front. This is my plan. That and that. And then I used the other two dies to cut out birthday and wishes. So I cut out an gold embossed birthday, cut it out, then embossed the wishes and cut it out. They're both on the same stamp, so, and I thought I'd do that. Okay, so let's put this together. I'll put the two end ones on first. Get my bag, put my little bits in. That's the first one. Pop that one on. This is a pretty paper. It's got basic beige, white, and Daffodil Delight on it. Or it could be Crushed Curry, but I think it's, or it could be, I suppose, Darling Duckling, but I think it's more Daffodil Delight. Put that one on. Very simple. And nary a Christmas card in sight. There you go. And this one, I've already put the center one on because I wanted to see how it would look. And put that on there. Okay, so I've got birthday. I'll put that on next. As I said, birthday and wishes. Now, when you use the wishes one, especially when you're embossing, sometimes it looks as if it's going to be a bit messy around the H. The H is thicker than the other letters, so yeah. So that's basically the front apart from the daisies. Okay, so let's pop the daisies on. I've put everything on dimensionals today because I wanted to give it a 3D effect, and I keep finding little offcuts of the daisy. As I said, very simple. And then I had some of these gems, and I thought these would be nice since I had gold embossed to put in the middle of the daisy, just to give the daisy some life. And that's the front of my card. I don't normally make cards with Daffodil Delight on the front, but what a sunny little card that is. So let's pop it on the base. And there we go. And then you can give your flowers a little bit more dimension by just, you know, turning the petals up a little bit so that they look more like that. But it's I actually like that card quite a lot, along with that one. So that's day 7. Now let's go on to day 8. Day 8 was twine. 2 lots of twine, pink and misty moonlight. Like a variegated white and white twine. So we're working out what you can do with twine, and I decided to use both on the same card. So let's see what I came up with. As I say, this is all very quick this morning. So I've got my twine here. So there's my 2 colors of twine. I've put them together. And I think I was dreaming about this card last night. So, still one of my most all-time favorite folders, this one, embossing folders, the exposed brick. I really love this one. Here we go. I shall put some tape on the back of this and pop it on the front of my card. Sometimes I build the front before I put it on, but this time I'm not. Okay, now, I never can decide what way I want this, but let's do it this way. Got to put a rod of tape down both sides like that. And then I'm going to use some Misty Moonlight in behind it so that it just has a strip there. And move that one down a tiny little bit because it's just sticking out a little bit too much at the top. Funny how that happens sometimes. I'm happier with that. Actually going to have my eyes tested today because I'm finding the vision is not as good as it could be. Right, so now that I've put that on, this is what I forgot to do the other week. I need to put tape on the back of those two. As I've covered all the tape. I'll do. Oh, do you know what I did? And I shouldn't have done that. I said I stuck that down before. I'm going to pull it off because I don't want to stick it down first. Let's put this on first. This is why. See? I've had a bug all weekend, so I've been feeling pretty rotten. Saturday and Sunday. And then yesterday, I ended up going into hospital for a regular gastroscopy. So it's been an eventful weekend. So, because I'd forgotten I need to put the twine on. And if I've got that stuck down, I can't put the twine on. Okay. So I'm going to wrap it around. Find the end. That should be enough, I think. Once, twice, 3 times. Now I can stick it down on the card. Now that I've put that there so it's not sticking to my hand. I'm not sticking it down completely because I want to be able to lift that up so that I can move the twine up and down if I want to. And then I'm going to pop that under and tie a bow. Now, I was thinking about this the other day, and I don't know if we'll do it yet or not, but we'll see. I'm going to just tighten a knot at the moment. Okay. Now I completely stick it down. There we go. And then I used the shapes again to cut out this sentiment, and this is one of the stumps on that as well. And I need to put some dimensionals on the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's put those on. I just had this thought about, I was talking to a friend this week, and we were talking about how that sometimes when we've been using something and we love it, but it's not available anymore. Theoretically, we shouldn't use it again. But I'm thinking I might get a little bit of gold thread before I add the rest. So just give me 1 sec. She'll grab that. I know I've got the book. Let me. this will do. Not the one I was looking for, but this will do. I was looking for really fine gold thread, but I think this one will be perfect, I think, for what I want. Because I'm going to, I don't know if this will work, but let's try it and see. Okay, so set that up there. This is twine that actually, you see how it all shreds? So I'm going to shred the other end a little bit. Find the end of it. Easy to go from the end and the middle. There we go. All I need to do really is that there. I'm not undo it because it's just twisted twine. See, look at that. Okay. And that makes them all single strands. And I'm just going to make my bow. I'll put this on first and then I'll see what this looks like. If it doesn't look right, I will pull it off. So that's on. And I thought about actually just putting this under like this, under the bow. You know when you're in bed and you think, oh, maybe I could do this. There we go. That's where I get all my best ideas. No fingers and thumbs at the moment. Lift my bow up. Tuck that in behind there a little bit so that it, yep. Happy with that. Do the same with the other one. Tuck it in underneath. Let's get all the threads. Push it under. Then I might put a couple of glue dots on this after I've done. Here we go. Pull those out. I want it to be sort of not quite tidy as such, like a little bit random, just like it's just been popped there. And you see that it's very random at the moment. And let's do this end the same way. Get that tail. Probably could have put this on first, but that's okay. And pop that up in there. What you call improvising on the spot before we finish off for today. I think, and I can just cut those tails off. If I do that, I think something like that just adds a little bit more life to it. Actually, what I might do is, since I've put that on like that, is actually tie it in a bow and then do the ends. I think that might be less messy. I want it to be messy, but not messy, if you know what I mean. Let's do one bow. And I want it to be much smaller than that, so let's do there. And then I'm going to do another, it's like a double bow, but not a double bow. Another bow on top. That's more like what I want. And then I shall get my, yeah, that's more like what I want. Now, where's my other red one? Or pink one? I'm keeping falling off the table because it keeps slipping on me. And when I tie these together and make a bow on top, I'll put a glue dot on the whole thing just to make sure it's all stuck together. So it looks like loops. So that's the effect I wanted. Okay, now I've got some glue dots here. Pull these out and grab one, and I'm just going to pop it under there. And that just holds it just firm so that it doesn't slip. And then I've got some of my gems. Now, these come in a couple of different sizes. So when you tip them, some of them out, which I'm going to do, I'm just going to get a few out. You can see these are the small ones, and I don't really want the small ones. Guess what? You know Murphy's Law? Which ones do you get out? The small ones. Pop that one back in, that one back in, and that one back in. I really don't relish the fact of these falling all over the floor. Okay, now I get my glue dots again, and I'm just going to roll it up a little bit so that it fits on the back of this. And then I'm just going to randomly, see, even that's sticking out, randomly place them on the card. Here we go. And we are almost finished. Let's see, flat side gone down. There we go. I'll put one up there. Get another one. Roll it up in a ball. It's a flat side. It just, if you feel them, you can actually feel if they're bumpy or not. I'm going to put 5 in this. I know that's a bit excessive, but I'm going to be a kid for once. You know, when you give a kid gems and you say, we usually use, and you say, 3 or 5 or whatever. And you look back and there's none left on the packet because they've used them all. Here we go. I think that will do. I'll put one here, I think. Right, so there we go. I've got 2 left, and guess what? I'm going to be a good girl and put them away. Here we go. 2. So, day 8 with some of the earlier days as well, and some retired. I have no idea what this was, but there's like about maybe 50 centimeters left on it. So that's one, the one we did today, and this one. Hope you can see them. I'll move them over a little bit. Okay, so that's for days 7 and day 8, and I hope you like those. Fairly simple, just happy birthday, big thanks, and for someone extra special. And that's my advent calendar for day 7 and for day 8. Now I hope you have a good day. We're promised a very hot day here, so I hope it's nothing like it was at the weekend where it was over 40 and just felt like a desert heat. So I'm hoping today won't be like that. And I will see you next week with days 9 and 10, and we shall see what I come up with for those days. Okay, take care everyone, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.